Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update for HBAR. Now going on the daily here, this is still my primary count, ABC, with a triangle B wave, looking for targets between 16 cents and 30 cents, depending how many 1-2s are gearing up here. Now there is one more count I want to add. This is my primary. We also have the triangle setup, which I hope does not happen. We also have the ending diagonal, which isn't quite invalidated yet. There is one more I wanted to add to this, which does concern me slightly, and that is if this is our A wave, we could still be in the middle of a B, which would be a 3, 3. If we break this high or drop from here, we'd either expect 3 down or 5 down here before we actually take off in our C wave. And this would be a very large A, B, C. So I'll add that for next video as one of my alternatives. But we'll go back to our bullish scenario down to the 4-hour. And I do have some concerns in this area. I'll make those clear to you. I wanted to see a takeoff for that third 1-2 for our third wave of that. I was hoping to see that on the weekend. This is looking a little bit weak and concerning me a little bit. I'm wondering if this is a series of ABCs and we're going to either drop from here, just round over. You've seen this probably in many charts. If you're paying attention, you just start to round over. It's almost like a head and shoulders pattern. Make some sort of leading diagonal for a corrective move, and then you just collapse. That's what I'm concerned about. So I'll go down to my trading area here, my trading chart. This is down on the 15-minute, and that's that third 1-2. So we did have a nice impulsive move for the third 1-2 right here. But the question I have is if the first two was actually an ABC, could actually have an ABC here, almost like a triple top. But you can see this was actually a higher high than this high with an expanded flat in between here as an ABC. So this is technically a higher high, removing the correction. So I'm a little bit concerned if we top there, is this starting to come to the downside? So again, it's not changing my trade setup. This is just taking much longer than anticipated. So when stuff takes so much longer, you can see this is our first 1-2 here. I know it's not labeled, but that was the full correction there of our first 1-2. Our second 1-2, that's our full correction. You can see how much longer it's taking here. The way it's valid is if this is a 1-2, 1-2, and we're going. But we need to see something happen quick here. So I've yet to label this area because I'm not sure if it's impulsive yet. Took some measurements. The entire correction here, or the entire impulse, there is separation. It does look like 5 waves, but it extended just to the 1-to-1. You can see there on the right, just around 9.5 cents, which can happen if you get those wicks at the bottom, because we're stopping through everybody and just turning around quickly. Ideally, we would have gotten follow through there, but we just double topped. So again, it's valid, but I can count this as an ABC as well, right? ABC rather than a 1-2-3 flat, 4-5, or if the fifth ended here and we have a complex correction here. Very hard wave to figure out what's happening. It can be multiple things. Another thing I marked was I would want to potentially bail out of this trade if we break this trend line you see in yellow. You can see it's touching 3 points. This was basically the move to the upside. And if we break through that, I would be very concerned with the setup. We're currently at the 618 retracement of this move to the upside here. You can see they're at 8669. So we want this area to hold. We're also holding above the previous fourth wave here. So we really need to see some volume and some push, some follow through at this moment. If we break through this area, and we don't get like a crazy reaction to the upside, and we instead break through and then sort of correct to the upside, I might bail on my trade there and take a small loss. Haven't decided yet, but I will update that as it happens. But I really want to see this take off to the upside. Positives for that is we did break this trend, but again, this wave is so hard to count at the moment because this can be an A. This could literally just be a B wave and a running flat, and we just keep going, right? That's how tops tend to happen. They just grind you out slowly. You get some false hope there, and then we just go again. Just a series of ABC corrections to the downside. So that's where I'm at. I want to see some follow through right now. I'm not going to label this at the moment. I need more waves to fill out before I can get confident in any count. But this can also make like a triangle. You could get a triangle, break to the upside. One thing that could happen is we could just drop down here, and this is just a large ABC, but I will get stopped out. I've got my stop here at that point. I would wait and see the reaction there and potentially re-enter. If we get a nice reaction, find support on previous resistance, it would be a setup where the stop's at this low. But I'm not going to lower my stop any more than that, just in case we get that big drop. So yeah, guys, this area pretty neutral on at the moment. I'd like to see some follow through here over the next day or two. But we're at potentially, again, 412s at the 618. We did break previous resistance here. Just looking for some follow through here. Because my biggest concern is this is an A, got a running flat B, and our C to the downside. Or even worse, leading diagonal. 1, 2, 1, 2 for an A wave to the downside. But yeah, that's my trade setup. I'm not going to change my stops. If you're concerned of your trade, you can move it up to this previous low. Because that is the 618. We did get rejection there. You can make that move, but I'm going to give it a little more room. I'm fine with that $100 risk on the account. Currently still in the trade, as you can see, up like $100, but again, I can lose that very quickly if this is not bullish. The one good thing for us is the longer a move goes sideways, usually the bigger the impulse after. So if that's to the upside, it could be a pretty significant move. But if it's to the downside, it can be a pretty significant move to the downside. So it kind of works both ways, right? So I'm just going to leave this trade as is. Hopefully have an update for you when we get some clarity of what's happening here. Could be in the middle of a correction still. Could be topped, hard to say. Could be a series of 1-2s. Again, just completely neutral at this point. Very concerned about this area if we break that Y wave, especially if we close below, or sorry, that yellow trend line there, which I assume lines up pretty closely. Yeah, pretty much with the pitchfork I have set here off the C, D, and the E leg. Pretty much the same area. So as soon as we drift out of that, the probabilities of this holding become much less. All right, guys, that's it for HBAR. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see my next update. Thanks for watching.